Good morning, Kelly here. I just want to share this first ever made journal, junk journal for my mother. Her birthday's coming at the end of the month, and so I've been working on it for a couple of weeks actually. Up close and personal, you can see this. I chose to use the postcard portion of a journal page or scrapbook paper, and I embellished it with some gel pens to give it some twinkle. Underneath is some wood, and that keeps the cardstock elevated off the page so that I could make a pocket. And in the pocket I have put pictures of my mommy. This one right here is her and great grandma Gertie, and it says real close the Circus Girls, but it was from 1954, and my mother right there. And on the back of this piece I put her in her probably satin dress my great grandma would have made. She was a seamstress. And my mom's a butterfly person, so throughout this book you'll see butterflies. Obviously that's the paper I chose for the front cover too. I chose to use a nice sturdy ribbon there because she's turning 83 or 84, I can't remember, but this will be easier for her to deal with than some silk little hand stuff, you know. Anyway, inside is one of my journal page things. It was for a prompt named Plant, and that, so I just thought I'd give that to her because she gets so excited over my arts. And this paper is kind of throughout. It's from the Hobby Lobby, and I can't think of the maker of it, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I copy dyed paper, and I gave her a few pages to write in initially in the beginning of the book, and then this is the first pocket I've put in, and I've stuffed it with these cute little fairies that are toothpicks. Sorry if I go out of frame. I'm not used to making videos. I just wanted really this to have as a record for myself. And anyway, we get to a little bit of a sewing portion here. I stitched in a nice pocket here that I got out of an old encyclopedia book. See, it's a cute lady. Trimmed it out. Of course, most everything you'll see has been edge inked with the Tim Holtz ink pads. And then this was something I made for her at Christmas and then didn't send it to her. So it's, Mommy, may every day of 2020 bring you joy. Love you, your fave. Because that's what she calls me, her fave. Because I am. Anyway, then there's a little bit of a Jane Davenport napkin because we're coming into a theme she also really enjoys, which is the beach. We grew up in California near the coast, so we were at the beach quite a bit as kids. Not near the coast, at the coast. So this, a few more blank coffee stained papers leads to something I did with a gel print that was a failure. And you'll come into the first of the signature string binding. I've glued together a few butterflies and added some bees, one with a key. Let me show you this. See the book binding? Yes, that's what I have. I left it there and I chose to leave these long so these little beads could be attached. Each one comes to a different segment. I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, I gave her a piece that she could draw on herself because she loves to do the adult coloring, and I put a little bit of Jane Davenport tape there along the edges to hold that coloring piece in place. And then when you flip the page here, I have made a clip-on with the paper clip, and behind that is the little mermaid stamp from also Jane Davenport, but this, and so the adventure begins, is Tim Holtz. But with this I used a piece of real coral that I've had for many years and put a three-dimensional piece of lobster there, and on the back it's a picture of a boats in the harbor, which I thought was really appropriate. I'll bring that in closer. See how cute? Very cute. It clips in place into the page. The next page is some scrapbook paper, but this little also stitched in a little trading card or whatever they call them, but left room on the back for her to journal on as well. And then I put a tab for marking a page. And then behind this one I made an artist trading card, if you will. I don't know what they're really called. Anyhow, I stamped the mermaid there. Can you see her? Isn't she so cute? I colored her out right here. Yeah. So that's it. And more journal paging. A couple more stamps to follow the theme of the ocean. I put a a hummingbird here. This was from our friend Dang's origami paper. Long story, but yeah, I thought I'd give Mom a piece of it. And this paper, I made a belly band here. And I put in some, this is just a blank card, and then this is a die cut, a little cutout of a butterfly. There again with the theme. This will be so she can hold pages. This was originally Mom's, but she'll be able to hold pages back so she can write or color or whatever the case may be. So I have that in there. Let me see. Oops, I might have clipped too many. Then this side is a couple of my failed watercolor drawings I cut in half and pinned in there with a little pin. I don't know that they're failed. They weren't my thing. I suppose I could show you. See, it says stay sunny. And I chopped it in half. Anyway, there's those. She just likes my art. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. She just loves it anyway. And then a few more pages. Then we get to the back of signature number 1, and live gently upon this earth, be brave with your life, and do what you love. Yeah, that's the motto. Then this upside down pocket, well, tops pocket, I don't know what to call it. Anyhow, this, my grandmother, Lucy Thomas, she saved a lot of the little comic strips and gave them to my mom. So this says 97, but I think this is more like circa, well, it says 97, so there you go. But it says, butterflies are quiet, but bumblebees have motors. Very appropriate for this collage book. There, and I stamped some butterflies on that page. This is a little, I can think of the darn name. You know, whatever. A little punch through thing. And I stamped a little bit of stamps on there because it's kind of an elegant, my mom's very elegant. This says chocolate syrups. I don't know. Anyway, pretty paper. And some more pages. Then this is 3 pieces of a booklet that I got from scrapbook.com. It also mirrors the ones that I had in the front of the book as well. So there's those. Each one of these has print on the back side, but I don't want to take it out because on the back is this cute little pair of scissors I stuck on there to kind of indicate sewing and handcraftingness, because that's, my mom crochets and grandmother sewed and great grandmother did needlepoint, so there's all those. And then this is so cute. I made her a little pop-out book. I'll show you how this looks. I'm not going to untie it, I'll just unstrap it. But it says, remember to play, and then each one of these has little more of the comics. Say one for Grandpa's friend, he has old-timer's disease. What's funny is these came from Lucy Thomas to my mom, and now to me, and now back to Mom. So I think that's awesome. Can we hang the swing on it now, Daddy? And it's barely going in the ground. And this little pig had roast potato. He was a vegetarian. And you could see my grandmother has written in all of these. So I won't read you every one, but you get the joke. You get the gist, I mean. It's not really a joke. Comics are a joke, but there. So, this has a little clock on it with some beads that were quite old. And then I made it go into a little pocket of more of the same paper. Then paper, here's the centerpiece of this one, and it is also a clock. See there? Tied the clock into the clock. Oh, repeating patterns. Woo, woo, woo. And another set of butterflies. And this I stamped with little hearts. And this little heart was given to be my grandson, Daniel. He doesn't know I'm giving it to my mommy. And then this was, no beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. And see there? It's hearts. Oh, I'm so funny. Anyhow, this little envelope came from the IRS, no less. And it just has some ephemera inside. So she can play with stuff like that at home. The envelope can come out if she needs it to be taken out for writing purposes. Then we're at this beautiful page. I hope you can see what I'm showing you. Well, I forgot to look at the camera. Anywho's, yeah, hearts, bag, envelope. This one I put some Jane Davenport cardstock in there. It's from a journal book. And there's a pocket. And it says, own your dream. And then I put this ribbon picking up at own your dream. I'm sorry, my camera went off. Actually, I ran out of space on my phone. So anyway, we're back at now more coffee dyed paper and some silverware. I don't know if you can see this. The light seems to have disappeared some. But this is glittery forks and spoons, and my mom was a chef, so this is really appropriate. Another little cartoon in a pocket, and then we're at this cute paper. I stuck some paper flowers down in a little Christmas tree truck. My dad owned a truck, and they would go get their own wood from around the property out in the land where they live. They'd have to always get their own wood. So I thought that would bring her some thoughts on her husband who passed in 2012. And this is some tape because I stitched this piece in here with the sewing machine. And actually it is kind of a old-time wash machine cardstock that I stuck in there for her to has as a flip out. But it tore a little bit, so I used the tape to hold it down. On this cardstock I put just some bias tape, but I like the way it ropes out, trims it. It's pretty cool. And some more butterflies. This piece opens up. It's 3 pieces of paper. I put a crane in there that I made from Cawdang's origami paper. Hope he doesn't mind I borrowed a piece to give Mommy. She can't come to the party, so I thought I'd give her a little souvenir from it to Caw's birthday coming up in April. This was also my mom's butterfly, and it is a page keeper, similar to the page keeper here, but this one clips stuff out of the way, and this one saves your place when you're wanting to go back where you were. Anyway, this also is something I kind of invented. I didn't really invent it. I thought of it myself, but it came out of an old encyclopedia about how things were made or where they came from. And so I folded it in such a way that it's folded down and then flaps open. And what that does is tell the story of baseball, which is the other thing she's fanatical about. So we have butterflies, baseball, ocean, sewing, all the things that she just loves. And this nice paper has very shiny, beautiful roses on there. Seems like it's the video's dark, but it should be okay. Anywho's, moving forward, paper, paper, paper. This piece of material I stuck there with this beautiful little bird, and it is actually more of the fabric that's on the cover, which is from some leftover material for some little valance that I made in my bedroom. So it's funny how my material from a stash pile became her book, which, speaking of the book itself, it's made from a cereal box, emptied out and cut down. I think the dimensions are 9 by 6, somewhere in there. Anyway, so this one is a bag. I put this little piece of material belonged to my great-grandmother Lucy. Anyway, it's around one of the grandmas. And it has this neat little piece of paper here where it's, "Dear Heloise, I saved the narrow plastic fastening strips from cigarettes, margarine, etc., and use them as needle threaders when doing crewel work. Make sharp crease in the strip, push through the needle, press open to form a loop, insert yarn, and pull back through needle as you would any needle threader. The plastic does not need constant straightening as a wire does. It is soft and pliable," and I tore the paper, "and will not damage your yarn fibers. Cap Wilson." Nice, isn't that nice? And this is a vintage button from my grandmother, from my stash of my grandmother. I have all my grandmother's buttons and sewing things. This paper opens. Inside I put some cute dolls. Cute. So there you go. You got a secret bag compartment. I'll tie that later. And another belly band out of that bag. And I took this from an advertisement for life insurance. It's just a little piece of cardstock from a junk mail. And then it goes on to another one of those things. What? Grommet? No, jeez, I just can't think of the name of it. Anyhow, I put this little trading card right here, and it ties into the paper. Already had a little line on it, so I made them marry each other. This is really cute. I love the clock with the bird. I put a little, just a little embellishment there. And we're at the center of this signature, and it has baseball, because that's tied into the history of baseball, which she just loves, and another little key and bead. There you go. And then paper, and the back side of that bag. See, it goes all the way through and then comes out here. And this newspaper printout was my grandmother's, and it said, "Life is a challenge, meet it," etc., about life and what is life. And so I made a nice little cardstock out of that. I applied it with some Tim Holtz antique matte. It's kind of like Mod Podge glue, basically. It kind of worked, kind of didn't work. Doesn't matter. Anyway, inside this pocket is a couple of my pieces of watercolor and a butterfly and a "Let Your Light Shine." She loves when I give her my art. And we're almost done, folks. That's it. There's a decoupage angels with a little bit of that fabric, whatever it's called. Boy, I should get to know my terms of all this art stuff, right? Not really. Anyway, this back paper here with the roses, and it has this pearl, what do you call it? Again, not knowing the names. It's okay. This opens up and it talks about art, which I was an artist, and she would go with me to art classes when I was in school, which I just loved. My ceramic classes, everybody loved Mom when she came. And the back side is about music, which my mom played piano, so there you go, we're tied into music. And then I put in the bars and notes. And this one that's in separate pieces is the other side of the one where I put the origami bird. So all of them kind of come back and forth through the book. That's the whole neat thing about junk journals. Anywho, that's that. And that's the last few pages. And this one has the bias tape and some more butterflies. And it ends with the understanding life quote that was on the paper sack there earlier, that I wrote on a neat piece of, it was part of my junk journal, my journal pages. Oh, some little butterflies fell out. Anyway, I have those butterflies. They actually stick to anything metal, so I had them on these metal pieces there. Aren't they cute? So, more. She can stick these on her refrigerator. So, I hope she loves it. I'm sure she will. Everything is done with love, and that's the main thing. Here's the one that I stuck these 3 together, but then left these 3 loose. See? And actually, funny enough, I put this one on upside down. Doesn't really matter. It's just paper. This is for her to enjoy, and hopefully she'll write some nice life notes in there for me. And when I get it back after she passes, I'll be able to see what she did with it. This is all because I love my mommy. And I hope you all make a journal for your moms if she's still alive, and embrace the art form. It's very fun. It's not hard. You just have to know how to use scissors and glue. All right, folks, that's it. Enjoy your day. Have a nice Sunday. Oh, one last thing. I added a pen. Every journal book needs a pen. There you go. A little bit front matching the back. So forth. All right, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.